Katunga must never fall to the witches. Her people must live. The warriors must defend Katunga with their last breath. We are not cowards, and the witches can't tell us what to do in our land. Warriors of Katunga, ride with me one last time. We must defeat the witches. For Katunga, we stand. No retreat, no surrender.
Long ago, in the peaceful land of Katunga, witches and humans lived like one family. The witches used their magic to heal the sick, protect the village, and even help farmers during planting season. Everyone respected them. The queen of the witches was Finosa, a powerful but kind woman. On the same night her daughter Chacha was born, Queen Finosa heard the sound of drums from the palace.
I can hear the palace drums. The Prince of Katunga has been born.
The next morning, Queen Finosa went to see King Udenso of Katunga. The king welcomed her warmly.
Queen Finosa, your presence brings peace.
Congratulations on the birth of the prince.
Thank you, and I heard you also welcomed a child.
Yes, a daughter, King Udenso. I believe our children were born together for a reason. Let us join them in marriage when they become adults. This will bind witches and humans forever, and peace will remain in Katunga.
You speak with wisdom, Finosa, I agree. The Prince of Katunga and the Princess of the Witches shall be joined in marriage when the time comes.
Both leaders shook hands, sealing the promise. 25 years passed quickly in Katunga. Prince Akena had grown into a strong and handsome young man. He had fought in battles, defended Katunga from enemy tribes, and returned home victorious every time. The villagers respected him and called him Akena the Brave. Far away in the forest of the witches, Princess Chacha had also grown. She became a kind and gentle witch who used her powers to heal sickness. People from the village came to her with their problems. One evening, King Udenso sat in his royal hut, looking troubled. He kept thinking about the promise he made many years ago. I must tell him, he muttered to himself. He sent for Prince Akena.
There is something you need to know. Something I promised long ago before you became a man. The night you were born, I made an agreement with Queen Finosa of the Witches. You and her daughter were to be married when you both come of age.
Married? To the witch's princess?
Yes, my son. It was meant to keep peace between humans and witches forever.
Father, I can't do that. I already love someone.
Who?
The daughter of Chief Aquabella. I love her with all my heart.
My son, think well. This decision may bring consequences.
I have thought well, Father. I will not marry Chacha. I will marry Adana.
Very well.
As Akena left the hut, King Udenso whispered to himself.
This boy has just given me a way out of that old promise.
Meanwhile, in the witches' forest, Queen Finosa felt a strange uneasiness in her heart.
Chacha, my daughter, I fear a storm is coming.
Mother, what do you mean?
The time for your marriage draws near, and I sense that the humans may try to break the promise.
But why would they do that? We have done nothing but help them.
We shall see, my child. We shall see.
One night, under a sky full of stars, Queen Finosa left the forest of witches and arrived at the palace of Katunga. Her long, dark robe flowed behind her as she walked through the palace gates. Her eyes glowed.
Queen Finosa, what brings you here at this late hour?
King Udenso, you know why I am here. The time has come for our children to be joined in marriage as you promised. Prince Akena must wed my daughter Chacha.
Finosa, I cannot do that. My son has refused. He loves another, and no words of mine can change his heart.
How dare you betray our trust? A promise was made, one that binds humans and witches. And now you break it.
I am bound to my son's choice. Nothing more can be done.
You will regret this betrayal, King Udenso. I swear it. You and your people will pay for breaking your promise.
Before the king could reply, she turned sharply and left, the ground smoking where her feet had touched. Flames flickered around her cloak as she disappeared into the forest, her anger like a living storm. In the silence that followed, King Udenso sat alone, his face shadowed by worry. Deep down, He knew that Queen Finosa's promise of vengeance was not an empty threat, and that Katanga would never be the same again. Queen Finosa stormed into her coven that night. Her footsteps echoed through the forest like thunder. The fire in her eyes glowed brighter than the torches hanging on the walls. Every witch in the coven turned to look at her, fear and curiosity in their faces.
The king of Katanga has broken his promise. Yes. For years we healed their sick, we protected their farms, we saved them from enemies, and this was the thanks we received.
Another witch stepped forward. What did the king say? Finosa's face darkened. He said his son refuses to marry Chacha. And he claims he can do nothing about it. The witches roared in outrage. Impossible. How dare they disrespect our queen? Humans are ungrateful. They have betrayed us. And for betrayal, there must be punishment. The coven fell silent. Chacha, who stood quietly in a corner, looked down sadly. She whispered, "Mother, must it come to this?" Finosa turned to her daughter. Her voice softened for a moment. "My child, pain is the only language humans understand when they break trust." Chacha swallowed hard but said nothing more. Finosa then faced the other witches again. "From this night onward, the people of Katanga shall taste suffering. Their land will know fear. Their nights will not be peaceful. We stand with you, Queen Finosa," they shouted in one voice. "Let Katanga feel our wrath." Their voices rose, echoing through the forest like the cry of angry spirits. Outside, the sky suddenly darkened. Clouds gathered quickly, covering the moon. A cold, unsettling wind blew across the village. Animals cried. Babies could not sleep. The villagers felt a strange heaviness in the air, as if something dangerous had awakened. That night, the people of Katanga looked out their windows and whispered fearfully. "What is happening? Why does the air feel so cold? Something is wrong, something very wrong." Far away in the witches' forest, Queen Finosa raised her hands to the dark sky and declared, "Katanga will kneel before me. They will beg for mercy, or they will burn." One witch asked, "What is your command, my queen?" "Go into every home in Katanga," she commanded. "Kill the first son of every family. Let the land taste the pain they have given us." The witches roared loudly, their voices shaking the earth. Then Finosa turned to her daughter, Princess Chacha, who stood frozen, her eyes wide. "My daughter," Finosa said, her voice cold, "you have been disgraced. Your heart has been broken by that mortal prince." Chacha swallowed hard. "Mother, you will avenge that disgrace. You will kill Prince Ikena yourself." Chacha gasped. "Kill him." Finosa's eyes burned fiercely. "If my daughter cannot have the prince, then nobody will. Not even a mere mortal woman. He must die." She clenched her fist. "Let the king feel pain. Let him beg for mercy. By then, it will be too late." Tears filled Chacha's eyes, but fear and duty held her silent. Finosa turned back to the coven and shouted, "Go." With loud cries, the witches rose into the air. Their bodies lifted like shadows, riding the night wind. They spread across the dark sky, flying toward Katanga like a storm of death. That same night, strange screams filled the village. In a home, a father shouted helplessly, "No. Please. Take me instead."
No, my child!
But the witches showed no mercy. From house to house they moved, striking the firstborn sons of every family. The wind carried sorrow, cries, and death through the village. Before morning, Katanga was drowning in grief. At the palace, something felt wrong. Princess Chacha moved silently through the night until she reached Prince Ikena's hut. The moonlight rested softly on the roof as she slipped inside like a shadow. Prince Ikena was asleep. Chacha raised her hand, dark energy gathering around her fingers. Her heart beat fast. "I am sorry," she whispered. I never wanted it to be this way. She moved closer and stretched her hand toward his chest. Suddenly, a bright light flashed. Chacha cried out and fell back. The light came from a necklace around Prince Ikena's neck. It glowed like fire and pushed her away with great force. The heart shook. No, she gasped. What is this power? The necklace shone brighter, forming a wall around the prince. Chacha could not cross it. Fear filled her eyes. I cannot harm him, something is protecting him. Defeated and shaken, Chacha fled into the night and returned to the witch's forest. Queen Finosa was waiting. Well? Finosa demanded. Is the prince dead? Chacha bowed her head. No, mother. I failed. Finosa's eyes widened. Failed? How? There is a powerful necklace around his neck, Chacha explained. It burned me and pushed me away. I could not touch him. Queen Finosa screamed in rage. A necklace, she roared. Who dared protect him from my power? He thinks he is safe, but he is wrong. If magic could not take him tonight, then I will find another way. Prince Ikena will suffer. And when he falls, Katanga will fall with him. Morning came, but Katanga was silent. There was no joy, no laughter. Wailing filled the air as families mourned their dead. Inside the palace, King Udenso sat heavily on his throne. His eyes were red with anger and sorrow. The chief priest stood before him, holding his sacred staff. Tell me, the king said in a broken voice, what evil has come upon my land? Last night, our sons died like flies. My people are broken. The chief priest bowed his head. My king, this evil did not come by chance. The king looked up sharply. Then speak. The witches are responsible, the chief priest said calmly. Queen Finosa has struck. King Udenso clenched his fist. Because I refused to give my son to her daughter. Yes, my king, the priest replied. The broken promise has turned friendship into hatred. Then I will banish the witches from Katanga. I will drive them far away from this land. The chief priest quickly shook his head. My king, that would be dangerous. The witches are powerful. They cannot be defeated so easily. King Udenso paused. Then what do we do? Must we watch our people die? The chief priest spoke carefully. There is one time when the witches are weak. The king leaned forward. When? The blood moon, the priest said. Whenever the moon turns red, the witches lose their powers. They become powerless until the blood moon passes. The king's eyes widened. Are you sure? Yes, my king, the chief priest answered. That is the only time we can strike. We must capture them then, before they regain their strength. The king nodded slowly. Then we shall wait. The villagers buried their dead. Mothers cried. Fathers shook their heads in pain. A woman whispered through tears, why has this happened to us? Another replied, the witches have turned against us. From that day on, the warriors of Katanga guarded the land every night. They watched the sky closely, waiting for the sign. As the moon changed, one warrior asked. Not yet, another replied, staring upward.